DNS. You may have heard of it. You may have not. I mean, I depends on your computer experience, perhaps. But for those of you who have heard of it, I'm sure you know it stands for Domain Name Servers. For those of you who don't, well, that's what it stands for. Um, Essentially, what DNS does is it takes the IP address of the server that the site the website is hosted on, for example, like besttechie.net. And a domain name, is just an easy way it's for human convenience, that so people can go to a domain name and a website without having to know the IP of the web of the site. So basically, what the DNS does, it points. This is very simple way of stating it, but it points your IP address to the domain name, and the domain name to the IP address, and so on. And it does a lot more than that. For example, you have Google.com, you have besttechie.net, you have Microsoft.com, you have Yahoo.com, you have all these different websites, and and so in order to get to them, they each run DNS servers. Now, I want to bring up a service that's known as OpenDNS, which is they're not brand new. They've been around for a few years now, but they're starting to really pick up um, a lot of clients as well as users. It's a free service, and essentially what it does is they're basically open DNS servers. They're open to the public. They're free. They're available to anyone who wants to use them. And their claim is that it makes your surfing safer, faster, and more reliable. And from my experience, that is all correct. It's all true. They've been written up in the New York Times, PC World, Computer World, just a few of the sites and newspapers that have written about them. All very good. I read the article in the New York Times. Excellent write up. But aside from that, what they do is they have something what they call caching, and what the caching does is it allows you to it make first of all, it makes browsing websites such as MySpace or Facebook or any website for that matter faster, because it has a cache of the DNS and the name servers and all the stuff that relates to it. So it loads the pages faster. They also have multiple DNS servers throughout the world, so it's more reliable. So if one goes down, you still have the other ones backing it up. They also have a whole security type thing going on where you can block adult websites. You can to prevent people from on your network to get to them and things of that nature. You can block. I'm pretty sure you can set up blocking of any website that I'm. You can do this through your router as well. Let me just log in here. Um, let's see. I have an account. I use them on my home, on all the home network, on my home network, and all the websites that on all the machines at my house. Um, you can block phishing sites for those like scams, adult websites. You can block, like I was saying, certain domains. You can block. It's all in the settings. All you need is an account. Aside from that, you can also you can well you can let's go into a little more depth in terms of you can filter certain things as well. You can and you can filter certain things. You can I'm just going through the pages here right now. I'm looking through all the different things here. If you have multiple IPs, no problem. You can create shortcuts to your favorite websites for long addresses. If you have a really long email login or whatever that you don't always remember, whatever it is, you create an account. You can do all this really nice stuff. They also have stats, so you can look through your surfing statistics if you want. But a big thing I was mentioning before was actually the caching. Now now you may be saying, oh, if they're caching it, well, what happens when the website goes down and it's still cached, and I can't get back to it, right away as soon as it gets back up? Well, that's an easy fix. What you can do is they have a page for the caching, okay, what they call the cache checker, I believe is what they call it, and you can enter in the website, and it'll recheck the website manually, and then if it's back up, it'll put it back in it'll reload it back into the cache for everyone, so everyone can go back to it. So you don't have to worry about not being able to access websites if they go down for extended period of time due to the caching. Um, Also, what you can do is you can set the DNS server, their DNS servers. If you have a router, for example, you can set the settings, the DNS, the IP address for their two DNS servers, their two IP addresses, into your router. So and then instead of having to set it on each machine on your network individually, you can set it in the router, and anything that goes to the router will use the OpenDNS. I mean, you can't go wrong with going OpenDNS. I love their service. It's excellent. I haven't had any issues with it. Highly recommend OpenDNS for safe, efficient, fast, and reliable surfing on the web. It's totally changed the way I surf. You might not believe it, but websites do load a lot faster with OpenDNS. Especially, I've noticed MySpace. MySpace. As soon as it was dramatic. As soon as I started using OpenDNS and I went to the MySpace website, it literally loaded like I would say 2 to 5 times faster than normal, and I was impressed. That's when I started really starting using OpenDNS every day, and I highly recommend it. So check out OpenDNS. You can get there opendns.com, and you're watching the best techie.net show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.